minute, don't know. Got a minute of your time. Got a minute of your.
Hush up, gotta live right, and I'm never gonna let you out of my side. I've been knocked out, was a nice try, but I guess I get to keep my head on this time. God of the creation, the relations I've got, the only one that keeps me safe, the only one you should trust. For sure, it ain't right that I have checked the speck of dust from all of its sides. Fall down, that from my height, cause I didn't see the plank I have in my eye. Sad when no one's to be found. What keeps you eased out? What takes you off your mind? Yes, you want this, I want this. Everybody in this, we should have it. Stop illusions, it's in your hands. Show yourself, reveal it to them. Take the time to recognize it. You will leave
very nasty. Like you, 100% nasty.
Well, hello.
Hello.
Welcome to our podcast, From Vision to Success.
From vision to success, people.
Where we share the very beginnings of a vision.
The very beginnings, just right in the beginning, right when you're born, the first thing that comes into your mind.
To the fruition of whatever it is that you want in the messy middle.
To the what?
Fruition.
Forctition.
Sorry, I forgot. English is his second language, so.
Rude. To the forctition. Fruitition. That's not a word.
That is 100% a word.
Fruitition?
Yeah.
That is not a word.
100% it's a word. Look it up. Anyway, welcome. We're excited to have you here. We apologize. We were not online or live last week. I was really sick. I've been, my butt's been getting kicked with getting sick. I was sick for a month. I lost my voice. And then after I was okay for 2 weeks, and then I got sick again. Did you look it up?
Yeah. I got distracted when you're like, my butt. And I'm like, what happened to your butt? We don't talk about these things, dude. It's so weird.
Okay, one of the things that you must know, if this is the first time that you're joining us, is that sometimes this guy likes to make it weird.
I like to make it weird.
You 100% like to make it weird.
I'm looking something up and then you said my butt.
If you know us, we're like twins. We're like brother and sister, super,
weirdly. Super
we're very much alike. We think similarly. There are some differences, obviously, because he's a guy and I'm a girl. And so our thought processes when it comes to that are very different. But for the most part, he's like the male version of my brain.
Somebody made that comment the other day.
To some degree, because there are some things that he does that I'm like, you did what? That's like the madness in him that comes out.
Apparently, I'm like a horrible husband, and I'm like, and it's just
he's not a horrible husband. He's a great husband, great father.
You liar.
Just some questionable things that I'm like, wait, what? That is no, really. But I think all of us, don't I say things that you're like, wait, what?
No.
You know, I don't.
I don't think horrible of you.
I don't think horrible of you.
Apparently, you do. If we go back to a couple of podcasts ago, you will notice the one where you call me afterwards and you're like, "Oh, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I'm fine."
What did I say?
You called me to make sure.
Was it after Tegan? Like the Tegan call?
Yeah. No.
It was another one after?
We're talking about 2-3 podcasts ago.
I don't remember. I probably did say something.
And then that how we went to symposium and then the Italian restaurant, all four of us. And then I was like, no, let me tell you what you think.
You don't say it like that. You're like, no, Tegan, let me tell you how you feel. No, this is how you feel.
First of all, I never do that. I never ever do. And then she's like, yeah, me and Mike were like, ooh, and I'm like, I'm looking at you. You did not do that.
You know what I do? I just
you exaggerate.
You're
exaggerating.
Maybe I don't think I do.
You're a typical Latina.
Okay, you know what?
I'll tell you what. My mom, the exact same thing. She's having a conversation with my brother, right? And my brother will be like, "No, mom, I can't take you there because of whatever." She comes to me, she goes, "Sabe lo que me dijo?" You know what he say? He's like, "Mom, you're not. There's no way." And I'm like, did he really say it like that though? I'm like, did he really, really, really say like that though?
You have to fact check it, I guess.
100%. And so you're the exact same way.
Oh, please.
I will.
Okay, let's fact check. Let's bring Tegan in.
I am not calling Tegan. We're not going down that road again. I learned lesson
You can fact
taught.
check me anytime, my friend.
Lesson learned, lesson taught. That will never happen again.
Anyway, so but like going back to like sometimes he likes to say things that make it sound weird, but then I just want to continue to move on, and then you like to stop and dive deeper into it, saying how much you did not mean to say whatever it said.
I want to clear my name. It's when Tegan.
But then it makes it really awkward and weird.
When Tegan said it's hard being married to you because you're right. You're always
oh yeah,
right.
that is what I was like. Did she actually like say
Yes,
that?
yes.
I'll ask her because I feel like. Okay, we're gonna have like the four of us will have a sit down combo.
That's not happening. Well, yeah, we could, but
Yeah,
we're not,
let's
I
do it.
thought you were gonna say we were gonna record it, and I'm
No,
like,
we
that's
won't
not
record
happening.
it. We won't record it because that's just it's a very vulnerable time for Miguel.
Last time we went to symposium, and I was like so conscious of everything that had been talked about. We had recently called Tegan, right, in that podcast.
You were too so good. Like the way that you were behaving was so extra that she
had
was
to.
like, "Stop it! Like stop touching me." Because he's like, "Yes, my love. Yes."
Yeah, I support you. Yes, absolutely. That's exactly what it is. And then, yeah, apparently
And
it
you
was
just
too
made
much.
it weird.
Apparently, I swung the pendulum way to the left.
Anyway, so yes, how we started before, we are twins.
Twins.
That he likes to make things weird sometimes, but
So let me tell you something.
okay, I'm ready. Are you telling me the story that led to this podcast?
I'm going to tell you the story that led to this podcast.
So if you've seen the actual title of this podcast, it's about humility. So I'm interested to know if it's like about you, about me, about both of us.
It's about both of us.
Okay.
And I think it's about all of us.
Okay.
But something did happen this Saturday.
Ooh,
and
do
I
tell.
was like, I have to, I did a hard check, self-assessment. And I was like, okay.
Okay. Oh my gosh, am I gonna be like?
It's not as crazy as you think. Ready? But it is very interesting. So I went to this baby shower,
Okay.
right? And I was at a baby shower, and there was someone there at the baby shower.
Do I know them?
No, you don't know this person, right? Let's call him Iski.
Okay.
We're calling this guy Iski.
Oh, it's a guy. Okay.
Yeah, it's a guy, Iski, right? And he's whatever. And he comes up to me and goes, I gotta let you know something. And I go, do tell, right? And he goes, your podcast?
He's like, it sucks.
No. He goes, no, hang on. He goes, your podcast? He goes, you gotta spill all the beans. And I'm like, and again, I'm like, it was Saturday. It's
Ooh.
probably not verbatim, right? But the essence of the conversation was,
Okay.
he's like, you gotta spill all the beans. He goes, when we go into a story, right? And if we gotta drop details and names because we leave people hanging.
Well, I feel like I'm better about this than you are. You are very like code sometimes.
I am very coded.
But-
I am very conscious, and I am, and he's right?
Yeah, no, he is. But here's the thing: if you've been following us from the beginning, this guy, you used to be like, "Broop." I used to just give out advice without context, and I'm like, what? You don't do that in your life.
Rude, friggin' rude. And so
The woes of like knowing each other
and so
quite well.
No, I know. And then he's like, so he goes. Apparently, there was one time.
Ooh, where's the story? Let's go back. Let's give the tea.
So hang on. So it's funny because I'm like, I'm gonna let people know who you are, and he goes, no, don't drop my name. I'm like, then you're
He's
just
not ready for that.
you're contradicting everything that you're just saying. He's like, no, don't mention me or
Listen, I
whatever.
appreciate the feedback though. I like this feedback.
I love the feedback, and he says, well, this is what he says, right? He goes that sometimes we will have a conversation in the pre-show,
Oh, and then
and then we'll reference the conversation, but we won't tell what the conversation is. So people are
Yes.
like, what the heck? Like, what did you guys talk about?
You
And
know
so we
what?
leave
Yeah.
people hanging, right?
I think we need. Thank you, because I think he's right. We do tend to do that. Sometimes there are
Really?
things that yes, because
Okay.
okay, but just to like let you know why is because sometimes those details are kind of private. They're kind of vulnerable details,
And I
right?
told him that, and he goes, then don't mention it.
I know you're absolutely right. If we can't spill the tea here, we shouldn't talk about it here.
The tea?
Yeah,
What's the tea?
spill the tea.
What's
Have
the
you
tea?
not heard of it?
You're
It's
making
like-
things up.
Oh my gosh.
Spill the
People out there, you know what the tea is. If you have kids, you 100% know is spill the tea.
Spill the tea. What the heck does spill
Spill
the
the tea, sister. Come on.
The gossip?
Yeah. Spill the
The
tea.
juicy details of someone or something?
Yes. I should tell you, like, spill the tea, twin.
Oh, it stands for truth. Oh, no, T. T-E-A. What? the
Have
phrase.
you not? Okay, have you not heard of this? Because this has
No.
been around for years.
No, it hasn't.
100.
You
Oh
stop
my
it.
gosh.
So
Me and Raquel's always like, spill the tea. And I'm like, all right.
okay, stop pretending you're this cool mom because you're not. So hang on a second. I see how Raquel sees you.
Listen.
Raquel's like,
Okay,
Mom,
tell
just
me.
stop.
Please tell me how Raquel sees me.
So it was,
Please tell
we're
me.
bouncing all over the place. Can we stick to one story first?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Can,
I'm sorry, what's his name?
Iski?
Iski?
So
I'm sorry,
we'll call him
Iski.
Iski. So Iski's been watching the last 3-4 episodes.
Thank you.
And
We
he-
appreciate.
And he watches us.
Is it David? Just kidding.
It's not David.
It is tea time.
No, T doesn't stand for tea time. It stands for truth or
No, it doesn't. It's
spill the truth. The T.
spill the tea. So, but it's like, okay, anyway, go ahead.
Well, it says here there's 2 versions. There's the T, just the T, and then TEA. But then the Google here or AI is saying that it's actually stands for truth. So
I don't know.
spill the
I don't
truth.
know about that. Anyway, go ahead.
Makes sense.
Okay, go ahead.
Anyway.
Spill the tea. Twin.
Freak, man. Hang on. Let me gather my thoughts. Holy freak, man. Hang on.
I'm sorry. I'm like, if people watch our podcast. Okay, actually, David, you're watching. So tell us, do we go all over the place? Should we stick? Should we be very
You. No,
linear?
who's we? Who's we? It's you. I'm trying to stick to the story, to the original story that I brought up. And you're talking about Raquel and how she sees you. And
You're the one that brought it up. Anyway, go on.
honestly,
Let me
this
listen.
podcast is going nowhere today. So he brings us into bed. He says,
Oh, it's like you mean
Iski,
that? Yeah,
Iski.
okay.
so he works and whenever, so sometimes he catches our podcast like at night.
Yeah.
And so he brings his laptop, and then his partner was there, and she was like, "Yeah," you can go. You've been in our bed for the last 3, 4
We
weeks.
appreciate that so
And
much.
I'm like,
Thank
all
you.
right, that's
We're
cool.
invited guests.
Yeah. So Iski,
How do you feel about that?
That I'm
Our
in bed with him?
voices in there. Up all up in their business there.
Iski, what's up, buddy?
Okay.
No, and then but he's been following pretty well. So he knew about the Jeep, he knew about all that stuff, right? And so he's a faithful follower. He's been watching a couple of podcasts already. But then he said that episode where I had like that not a nervous breakdown, but I like really like self-worth, it was down, and then I was really and it was somebody from the stake, right? But I couldn't mention the person and who it was because at the end of the day I still have to protect this person.
Okay.
Remember that
Yeah, I
conversation?
remember. And you know what? To be honest, he didn't even tell me a name.
I know. I didn't. Not even the pre-show. We talked about it because it was like, again, I have to protect, right?
Yeah, you were very private when it comes
was
to that.
very-
I only know the outskirts of the situation.
Yeah.
I don't actually. I feel like I know some of it, but I actually don't even know the details.
Yeah. And then there's a reason why. So I've only withheld names and detail when it's been like, because I know I can get either this person in trouble or it just makes the situation bad. Like it's throwing fire to the gasoline.
Yeah.
And so the reason why I would bring something up is to talk about the solution. And we're very solution-based podcast. We'll talk about something, a personal matter, but then we'll talk about...
Listen, sometimes I just want to complain. I don't want solutions. I just want to spill the tea, and that's it. That's my solution. Spill the tea.
You can't.
Why?
Because it's vision to success. We're talking about human progression.
But can we just talk about the fact that when you get things out of your chest,
100%.
that is progression,
100%.
right?
But it needs to be a private thing.
Yeah. You can't be spilling the tea
It
in
can be.
public.
It can be like in
As in our millions.
yeah. Well, we're both people of like we have positions in the stake and in
We have callings,
in the
yeah.
callings and stuff, and so we have to protect certain people, and anyways. But I still want to talk about it.
I don't
Anyway,
know if it's a protect. It's more like out of respect. Because protect, I feel like it makes it sound like it's something really bad or like somehow. But I'm like, it's more out of respect. It is a sense of protection, I guess.
yeah, you're right.
But I'm like, it's more out of respect, right? Because
not that they've done something bad.
exactly. It's
Yeah.
just, human people are different. Like we see life different and we do things different.
Yeah. So
So you were humbled.
So as he's talking to me, telling me what I can be doing better in the podcast, I had to make a really, really fast decision. Either I like get defensive,
Defensive?
and I'm like, you know what, eat my shorts, like whatever. I don't care what you think. That there's a perfect podcast, or I can be like, okay, you know what, It's whatever. And so I realized that I'm very humble.
Okay. And that's how this podcast came to be.
I'm joking. I'm joking. But what do we have here? It says here, honestly, I think it's fine not using names.
I'll just bother all those cheese mills out there.
No, and in all honesty, I was like, oh, in the beginning, my initial thought was like, oh,
How dare you?
This
It's
is-
like somebody criticizing our baby. You're
It
like,
is.
wait, what?
it is a baby,
Yeah,
right?
it is. This is our baby.
Okay.
Relax. It's not that way. It's our like.
Yeah, yeah.
It's we created it, right? We
Right.
created it together.
But then so that was the emotional side. That was the right side of my brain. Like, take offense. He's hurting my emotions. He's hurting my feelings. Then the left side kicked in.
How did you have the left side kick in? Because often we do go into our emotions first. What did you do? What's the step from A to B that you took?
We've talked about that here before.
Okay.
It's just stop and listen.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Like stop and listen to the person?
Stop and listen to the situation.
Okay.
Yeah, because at that point I had stopped and listened to my emotions,
Okay.
but then I needed to stop. I needed to reverse the roles.
Okay.
Do you understand? Like,
Yeah.
so I had stopped listening to him,
And went to your thoughts.
and I was listening to my thoughts, but I needed to reverse it. I needed to stop my thoughts and listen to him.
Okay. Ooh. I like the way you said that.
Right?
Yeah.
I
Okay,
am-
get on that pedestal. Do you want some help?
I
Here,
don't need any
grab
help.
my
I
hand.
trust. That's not happening. Number one, and number two is
He's already up there.
I'm
in his
already on that
pedestal.
pedestal. But I had to, and I realized, and again, I'm not tooting my own horn, but no, and
Do share. Please do share.
can I talk?
Yes, I'm listening.
No,
I'm encouraging you to share.
It's the way that you're saying it, though. It's you know, it's the way.
Okay. I won't say. I won't even look at you. Continue to share.
No, I can see you in the monitor, dude. I can see you're hiding your face. I can see.
You can't see my mouth. Just kidding.
I can see your mouth.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, and a little bit. Okay, so and this is where self-assessment has to come in, right? And self-assessment, sometimes it's okay to recognize that you are practicing a character trait of humbleness. And it just because you're like, okay, I'm trying to be more, and even the effort of trying to be more humble, and because of the podcast, we're promoting humbleness, right? But if it wasn't for this podcast, I would have never have taken, guess what? Like, I was so humble this weekend. This is what he said. And I was just so humble. Like, I would never. But analyzing the situation and the conversation, I realized that part of listening to critique and not getting so emotional is one of the aspects is to be humble, is to listen and know that you may not be right in that situation, and you just need to listen to other people's positive, constructive criticism. The minute you're like, whatever, I don't need anybody, you harden your heart, you harden your mind, and then progression stops. So I took the weekend and I just looked at the science behind humbleness, and there's actually a science behind being humble, and signs and a structure of how to be humble.
Oh, do share.
Yeah, so I kind of want to share those learnings with you guys.
Okay. Do
So,
share.
so we have 3 categories here. You let me know what you want.
Okay.
There's the signs of a humbled person.
Okay.
There's a how-to to be humble.
Okay.
And then there's the science behind humbles with their case studies.
Let's start with the science. I always like to start with the why. Like, I think science provides the why.
Yeah. I was actually, so it's funny because I was thinking the exact same way. So there were 5 studies that were done.
Okay.
In different times. I'll give you the dates right now. One was 2006, 2019, 2018, 2013, and then 2019. All different universities, all different professors.
Okay.
They published their studies in these journals. So I'm just gonna give you, instead of going into like the entire study, I'm just gonna give you their findings.
Okay.
Okay. So it says here, number 1, humility improves mental health.
Yep.
What do you
see that.
see? I didn't know this one.
I could totally see that.
How do you
So for me, humility is humility for me is tied to faith, right? And so humility, it means that
Okay.
I am humble in a sense where I trust and I believe that everything that I have comes because of God, not because of like, oh, look at me, look at this, look at that, right?
Okay.
So that's where my humility, I work on humility coming from there. Obviously, I think all of us have difficulties or different learning planes when it comes to humility, because like the other side of humility is pride.
the pride circle comes to mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the other side is pride, and I think all of us is a very human nature where we have tendencies to feel like we're better than people, whether it is that the people are like, I don't know, we believe that the people are like lower than us for some reason, right? But I think for me, the humility aspect of it, when I see my dependence of God, it helps me to feel happier because of the sense that I know that I'm not in control. I know that things will work out the best way, and I'm not tight gripping into something that I want.
So let me be a devil's advocate here. Can you have the exact same feeling without tying it to God?
Probably, because then you're going outside of yourself. The issue with not being humble is that you think so highly of yourself, and it's not to say that you shouldn't be you shouldn't love yourself, you shouldn't be self-accepting, you shouldn't think highly of yourself.
Yeah.
But when you put yourself on a pedestal,
Freak.
I'm just kidding. But when you put yourself on a pedestal, and sometimes it happens inadvertently, it happens subconsciously that we're not aware of, right? But I think that is the time where it's harder to be happier. It's harder to, I don't know, have those positive emotions, I think.
Yeah, so their finding says higher levels of humility are associated with lower levels of neurosystems
Okay.
and greater emotional stability.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So what they said in the why is because they are more accepting to their limitations and less obsessed with their perfections and comprehensions. And that study was published in the Journal of Positive Psychology in 2017.
It's like having a growth mindset as opposed to having a.
That's the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the second one. Humility increases a learning and growth mindset.
Yeah.
Good job, dude.
Things like I already know that I know more than you.
Relax.
I'm just
relax. Who's on the high horse now?
Okay, go ahead.
Who's on the high horse now? It says here that the findings is that intellectual humility is linked with greater academic engagements, curiosity, and accurate self-assessment.
Do you know why though?
I don't know why, actually.
Okay, I think it's because you're open, you're flexible. You don't think that you're a know-it-all. If you think you're a
Yes,
know-it-all,
yeah.
then you're not going to be open or curious. You're not going to want to investigate. You're always going to be defensive and fighting for your stance. But if you're okay being wrong and being like, oh, shoot, I didn't realize that. Like humility is being okay being wrong, right? Then you're going to be more open. You're going to have easier time with people. So that makes total sense.
And this is what happened with me and Iski, right? Because again, this is the why. The neuroscience shows that people are open to feedback, activates a region of the brain like a cognitive reflexibility. And then the key of that area is growth and learning. And so it just means, in other words, in layman's terms, that as you are open to feedback, you're open to learning. And then when you're open to learning, then you actually put yourself in a position of better academic performances.
Well, not just academic, but it's overall. Like if you think in a team, if you play sports, if you're coachable is humility, knowing that I don't know everything. So I believe and I trust that somebody out there knows more than me and I will listen to their advice.
Yeah. The third one is the study was humility builds better relationships.
Because you're coachable. Because you're not a know-it-all, right? Because you're not busy trying to have everybody see your point of view, but rather you're more interested in understanding other people's point of view. Yeah, I totally see that.
Yeah, I'm trying to look for the facts and the science. It says here, social scientists have found that humility boosts trust, cooperation, and forgiveness.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, which all of those three things leads to better relationships,
better mental health.
That's why we don't jive well.
What do you mean? Oh, please.
You're not humble.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's the most humble? I'm just kidding. If you're fighting about humbleness, then neither of us are humble.
I am very humble. I think.
I actually listened to a podcast that talked about humility, and it talked as soon as that you start thinking that you're so humble, then you're not humble, because you're still judging yourself against like
I don't agree
what
with
you're
that.
doing.
I don't agree with that.
I actually kind of agreed with it, because as I was listening to it, I was like, humbleness means being worried and like thinking about others before ourselves. But that can be twisted in a way where you're allowing yourself to be treated like dirt, which that's not the case. I think there's strength in humility.
Yeah. So I'll tell you why I don't agree with it.
Mm-hmm.
Is because one of the signs of learning to be humble is doing a self-assessment.
Yep.
Right. And then giving yourself honest feedback.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, if you're saying and again, this is my opinion, and if you're like, yeah, I'm humble, but you're boasting about being humble,
Look at
then
like you.
tu madre, man.
Do tell, do share.
I'm just saying.
Do share.
When people say I'm humble, but they're boasting about it, freak.
I'm listening.
No, you're not. You're giving me that face again. You're giving me
This
that.
is the face that God gave me. What's your problem?
Change it. Change it. Change that face. That's from
Anyway, you were
Anchorman.
saying.
No, it's when you're saying I'm humble, but you're saying it to boast and to like look at me.
Yeah, that's not humble.
That's not humble, right? So I agree with that.
But if you're looking at in a point of self-assessment and being like, okay, how am I doing with
Yeah.
receiving feedback?
yeah, am I receiving feedback? Am I like exactly my interaction with Iski, right? I was like, I did a self-assessment, like, okay, I was starting to get, agitated, right? Whatever.
Yeah, you felt the feels, right?
I did.
And that's normal. Can we just normalize that we all have feelings, and our first line of defense may be defensiveness? I think sometimes we try to be perfect. Oh, did you hear that?
Yeah, it was this.
Oh, okay. I think sometimes we have this wrong idea that we need to be perfect and we should never have these feelings, when those feelings are a natural part of life. And that's why we want self-awareness and self-assessment, because we're like, all right, where are we in this scale, and how do we ensure that our behavior matches the person who we want to be?
Yeah. Okay.
You're still listening. Anyway,
I
so
was
David
listening.
says, I guess humble stops being humble when it becomes prideful. Yeah, when you're fighting, whether
Yeah.
or not being more humble.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, have you ever noticed online, sometimes there's fights with people like about kindness and like being humble and stuff like that, and people are
Yeah.
like fighting back and forth. So that at that point starts being kindness and humbleness.
I agree. Humbleness, it increases. Where's the study? Okay, here we go. Humble and leadership. The study shows that when you are humble, where am I? Oh, here we go. It reduces narcissism.
You know what narcissism is?
Yeah, I know what narcissism.
So what is it?
You don't know what narcissism
No,
is.
I know what it is.
I know what it is too.
So what is it?
I know what it is.
Because I feel like sometimes we throw this term around and sometimes we don't fully understand what it is. Not just you and I think it's just an overall. Because
I
people
don't
are
think
so
you know.
people are so quick to call each other narcissists. But what is it? What is it? Tell me.
I know what it means.
Okay, so do share.
It means
He's like,
no. Look. It's
what is a? Oh, I know what it means.
no. My hands are up here.
Okay, what is it?
It means that you are just so into yourself, into your looks, into like just everything
Just
about
everything,
you, right?
everything and anything
Yeah.
into yourself. That
Yeah.
you're so egocentric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ego-driven behavior,
Yeah.
right? And so that's the opposite of leadership.
Mm-hmm.
When you are thinking about self only and not thinking about team.
You're thinking of your team. What can they do for me?
Oh,
as
100%.
opposed to being the type of leader that you're like, how can I better them? What can I do for them?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so and the science behind it is, or the study says, the findings: the leaders who demonstrate humility foster stronger team collaboration, trust, and higher performance.
Yeah.
So it actually boosts the overall team and what they do, because now they're willing to go into battle for you.
Yeah, because
Right?
you're like one of them, right? Like when you trust someone that
Yeah.
they have their your best interest in their hands, then you're willing to do anything
Yeah.
for them, right?
Yeah. And the last one, number 5.
I
Why are you
love it.
laughing?
Sometimes when I talk and you want to move on, you're like, yep. I
No,
agree. Or sometimes he won't understand what I'm saying and he'll be like, yeah, totally.
I agree. I agree with everything that you just said.
Okay, go ahead. What's the next one?
Is there anything else that you would like to say? I want to be humble right now, and I want to listen to my team. Go for it, Maria. Talk to me.
Just go ahead.
No. I want it. We want to hear your voice. Go talk. Go listen. We're listening. How does humble help the team?
You tell me. How does you being humble help
No.
us?
You're
Stop making it weird, man.
you're a gift from the heavens, and we need to listen to your voice. Talk.
You know,
Inspire us.
this guy so far from me because I was like, "Are you still talking? Why are you talking?"
Pull me down from this horse that I am on. This unicorn with feathers.
Here, what is it? What was
Pegasus.
it? Your Pegasus.
Yeah.
Come on down from your Pegasus, but join the peasants.
I will join the peons.
Oh my god. Okay, tell us the second one. Whatever it is that you were reading.
The last one.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you sure? Only if you're okay.
Yes.
I don't want to interrupt
I'm
you.
totally okay.
Okay, here we go, Maria. Humbleness, or it enhances humility, leadership, and influence.
Mm-hmm.
It inspires loyalty, empowers team, and fosters culture.
Yeah.
I didn't know that about culture. And then the findings was that over observing humility in others activates a brain region involves a social cognition and empathy, which is found in the prefrontal cortex, suggesting a neurological basis of why humility inspires pro-social behavior.
Mm-hmm.
So when you are humble, which is a self thing, it inspires others, and a level of empathy goes out. And I think that's very accurate. Like, I mean, if you're coming to me with a problem, let's say something that I did wrong, right? And you're Miguel, I didn't like the way that you made fun of my hair. And I'm like, dude, I was just joking, right? Like, to stop, that's how I joke. But the minute I make it, I'm like, well, I didn't mean it like that. Like, whatever, I'm prideful, I'm putting up these walls.
Mm-hmm.
I stop being empathetic to your needs.
Mm-hmm.
So the minute I become empathetic, and I'm like, oh, there may be something's happened in her background, maybe like whatever the hair situation is or whatever, then I'm allowing myself to be more empathetic to the people that are listening to their criticism or their feedback.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think a big part of humility as well is, as you were talking, I'm like, is realizing that being humble doesn't take anything away from you. Right?
Yeah,
if
yeah.
anything, it builds you.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we have this thought process that being humble means that you are easily stepped on, that you can be swayed in any way, when in reality, I think humbleness is a sign of strength.
Yep. 100%. I totally agree with you, Maria. You are so wise and so humbled as you're speaking.
It'll make it weird.
It's the voice of an angel. It's God speaking through your voice.
Oh my gosh. This is just weird. Let me you're so weird, man. Anyway.
So in summary, being humble lowers your stress, boosts learning, strengthens relationships, encourages empathy, and just makes you an overall better leader.
Yeah. I think it's true.
That is why I'm progressing the way that I am.
100%.
So
Your humbleness just inspires me to become better.
I know.
You're an incredible leader.
I know.
I know.
I know. And I don't say it with pride.
No, you don't.
I am on a Pegasus, but I do hear you.
But the only reason why you're on the Pegasus is just so your voice can carry.
It's the only
And
reason.
it's so people from far and wide can hear your voice.
I'm Braveheart. I'm Braveheart. I am the Latino version of Braveheart.
Okay.
Freedom! Okay. So some of you may or may not know people who are humble. And I am going to give you, now I didn't do any studies for this. I just went to ChatGPT and then just be like, okay, give me some signs of humble, like people being humble. So this is what ChatGPT pulled out before going into the how to be humble, which is actually study-based. If you know someone that they listen more than they speak, that person's humble.
Yikes, I am not humble. I'm busy talking.
We know. We know, Maria.
Okay, what's the next one?
We know. They admit when they are wrong.
Oh, I do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that. And sometimes I call you and I'm like, I'm sorry, I said. I text him all the time.
That happens all the time.
I know, because then I kind of go back. Well, I do go back and I watch our podcast and I was like, maybe I shouldn't have said that. I'm like, sometimes I think to myself, like, would I have been upset if he said that? And I was like, yeah, let me apologize.
Depending on who, I got thick skin.
I think you have pretty good,
Now I do,
thick
yeah.
skin with me.
With you, yeah, 100%.
I don't have thick skin.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
I mean, somewhat, but I'm like, things do affect me. But I think with me, I've learned to feel the feels first and to be okay with whatever reaction I have, whether it's angry, whether it's mean, whether it's like whatever it is. I get it all out first, not to the person, but I feel like I feel like sometimes with the emotions that we have, the negative ones, the way that I see it, it's like it's garbage that's inside of me that needs to come out. I'm very careful where it comes out. Usually it comes out on the journal. But then after that, then I get my emotions out and then the logical part of me kicks in and I'm able to make better decisions.
Okay, so yeah. They accept feedback gracefully. Which is what I'm not tooting my own horn, but this is what it was, the self-assessment.
I think it's like depending on the situation for you though. I think it's depending on the situation and depending who it is.
Yeah. If there's a history, listen, you're right. If there's a history.
Do you not love how much I know you?
I know.
You're like, look at him, so humble. I'm da-da-da-da. And I'm like, wait a minute.
if it's done in public,
then
in front of a lot of people,
yeah, that's
then
good.
we're throwing hands, right? Like it's I'm done with you. You're dead to me, right? And if it's someone that every time I see them, they only have negative things or to say, then I'm like, I can't. I don't want anything to do with you, which is one of my concerns. I know. Here I am.
Okay, do share. This is juicy. Spill the tea, twin.
I know. Iski is like he's on his edge. So there is someone.
Okay.
And there's a person.
Okay.
That, and Iski, I'm not gonna say who it is. So sorry, dude. You're gonna have to but just listen. That tends to every time I see this person, I don't get a good job.
You get just negative criticism.
And I don't want to say negative, but it's always feedback.
So it's always things that you need to keep doing better.
Right.
Okay.
And so it's like, even though it's great, even though it's awesome, and I accept it, a pat on the back, and not that I need it, but a pat on the back does go a long way. Because
it is hard to just receive feedback all the time without.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Iski, I'm not dropping names. So too bad, so sad. I know I'm in bed with you right now, and so it's not happening. I can't drop. But anyways, so those are the two things that I close my mind when it comes to feedback.
Question for you: how these principles and these things that we're learning, how can you apply? Because I think all of us have people like that in our lives. How can we apply what we've learned to those people? When it comes to is it kind of too bad, so sad? We can't be humble with them, or how can you apply that in a way that serves you and helps you to move on or to continue on?
I know the answer that I should be saying.
Oh, I don't what's the answer that should? Okay, I'm just interested because I have no idea what you're gonna say. Go ahead.
So I know that if somebody was to come and ask me the exact same question, that they're going through this and what do I do?
So what's the answer you would give to someone?
The answer that I would give to somebody that I would not do myself.
I love it so much though, because that's real, that's real human people, right? We're real human beings.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
So the answer that I would give to somebody to go and do, but I would never do it myself.
Tell me.
It's tell the person, hey man, every time we connect, you always have something. Just a pat on the back would be nice sometimes, right?
Ooh, and then a question for you, follow-up question. Why wouldn't you do that yourself? For your situation, why wouldn't you bring it up or have this open conversation with this person?
Because I'm done with this person.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't need a pat on the back.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm that's what it is. So if it's somebody that's influential, somebody that's in your life constantly or whatever, then I would recommend that. I still wouldn't do it. But anyways. Just saying. You should do it though. You should do it.
It is really good to do.
You should do it. You should definitely do it.
You're like, don't do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
It's hard though, right? Maybe you're not ready to do it now, but who knows? Maybe in the future you'll do it.
But so here's the thing is, okay, let's reverse it. I would do it. It's just not right now. I can't do it.
Yeah. Is it because there's a lot of feelings in there?
There's a lot of feelings, part of it. And number one is that it's not my main priority to fix.
Okay.
Okay, going back, I would do it, and I probably will end up doing it in the near future. But just right now, I got a bunch of other stuff that are on my priority list than trying to fix this relationship with this person.
Okay.
Right? It's not on my priority. It's important, but it's like maybe number 8, number 10. I got there's the FSY conference coming up. There's things in the business. I'm putting out a couple of booklets out there for resources. I got another email just dropped. Oh, I'm being asked to represent the Latino community for the PO board. And they just literally just came in like 15 minutes ago to be a keynote speaker for this massive conference for the PO board.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
Yeah. And so like that, I saw that and I'm like, holy crap.
Is it the PIC conference?
No, it's not the PIC conference. It's anyways, I'm gonna look.
Okay, tell me
but
after.
It's a conference that the PO board puts out, and it's specifically targeting Latinos in leadership. And so they want to promote.
I'm coming to support and to watch you and to give you honest feedback.
First of all, who said that you're invited?
You're inviting me. I'm tagging along.
Number 2, I will never tell you the address.
Oh, 100%.
And I'm not
you will.
telling you the date either.
You're gonna tell me. I know you.
I'm not
I know
tell
you. He says these things and then he tells me.
It is. Listen, I can promise you, it's not happening.
He'll watch. I know this man. Anyway, go ahead.
So I got that, and I got a couple of other big ones just like that. There's a possibility of me going to El Salvador to do a TED Talk there.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you.
So thank you. And so these are the things that like right now, I need all my positive energy to go towards these projects that are coming up, right?
Okay, so here's like a little I guess tidbit for our listeners that if it's in your priority list and this is extra baggage that you don't want, then do it.
You have to do it. You have to do it.
Do it. For Miguel right now, it's not on his priority list, so that's why it's not getting done.
Have you ever seen the Eisenhower matrix?
Is it the one with the 4 quadrants?
The 4 quadrants: important, not important, urgent, not urgent.
Yeah.
Right. So this for me it's
important but non-urgent.
Not urgent. Right. So it's something that I can schedule later on, and that quadrant, that top right quadrant where it's scheduling. Mm-hmm. That can be done, and people think, oh, scheduling, that means it has to be done next week. No, not really, right? If it's not urgent, but it's important, and I think it's important, you can schedule it a year from now. You can schedule it like 6 months from now, right?
Yeah.
You're not just throwing it away. You're not deleting it, which is another quadrant. You're not delegating it because I have to do it.
Yeah.
It's not urgent that I have to do it right now, but it is something, it is important. I need to do it. And so I just don't need to do it now. There's other things that are super, super uber important that are taking a priority in my life. And it is a relationship that I kind of want to like let this person know, hey, but just not right now. Right now, I got way more bigger, better things to do that just to try and fix this.
Okay.
So,
all right.
But it is
Here
something that I am going to do. I'm just not going to do now.
We'll have a follow-up to this. I don't know when.
Yeah,
Could be like in 10 years. I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
It never happened. He's like 85.
Call my deathbed. Like, call this person. They don't brag or boast.
You're in trouble there. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't brag.
Okay.
If I brag, it's lighthearted. It's just to be like,
I know.
For laughs.
See, and listen, all of us are like, this is a spectrum. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's like, well, there are people that are horrible, I think.
Yeah.
But all of us are gonna be somewhere in the scale.
Yeah. They acknowledge the contribution of others.
Yes, that's a big one, and you do that. I think.
Yeah.
I think you do that.
They ask for help.
I have to like literally force help on this guy, like, because he's almighty Miguel.
It's not. Yeah.
It's
hard. It's hard.
Do you think it's because you're a guy as well? I think it's easier for women to ask for help than men.
You know what? There's actually there is truth to that, and I don't think it's 100% everything, but I think there's truth to that. So when I was working with the Canadian Mental Health Association, so I used to be one of they used to be one of my clients. So I used to go out and do workshops for them. And there was a workshop called it was either Self-Care 101 or Mental Health 101. I forget which one it was. And in one of the slides, it says two out of 3 women will be diagnosed with depression or mental illness issues more than a man. So 2 out of 3 women will be diagnosed with mental illness versus a man.
Okay.
And so the question is why?
Because men don't talk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So women tend to ask for more help, and then the study goes into like why. Some say it's nature, some say it's nurture, right? If it's nurture, growing up, right? When a little girl cries, you cuddle. Oh, are you okay? Da, 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 da.
Like I seen you do with your girls versus your boys.
No, I'm actually no. That I will never be caught with that. The way that and because of the study, I'm very conscious in how I do it, right?
Yeah.
But with boys and growing up Latino, my dad being hardcore, right? If you fall down and you start crying,
get up,
or
I'll give you something to cry about.
100%. But you don't say that to a girl, right?
Yeah.
So, and again, our culture, it is shifting, but whatever. And so there tends to be a more acceptance to cry and ask for help from a female point of view versus a man, which is just get up and just go and brush it off, whatever, boys don't cry mentality, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why women tend to cry more.
It's Ed, our favorite friend. Hey, Ed.
Your favorite friend.
Stop it. He is your favorite friend as well. I acknowledge the contribution of Miguel and Martinez and Maria Button's wonderful friends. Love seeing what you both are doing in Ontario for both your fellow man and your families. It's beautiful. Oh, thanks, Ed. That's amazing.
Thanks, Ed. From Calgary, Alberta.
Okay.
Left us.
Okay, so go on with regards to the men and women.
And so then that was one. And the other one is so that was nurture.
Okay.
And then nature, it shows that they did a whole bunch of like experiments, and the BBC did this experiment, right? And they took a bunch of like chimpanzees in a closed encounter or whatever, and they threw a bunch of toys out. All the female chimpanzees, all of them gravitated towards a doll. And they were like,
oh, like the
right? The nurturers, right?
Yeah, the nurturers.
And so, but all the male chimpanzees, they gravitated to the trucks and all like the hammers and all that other stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so, and at the end of the study, it says it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether it's nature. It doesn't matter whether it's nurture. The point is that if you are suffering from anything, we got to change the stigma and we got to change the conversation. We have to ask for help.
Yeah. I read studies with regards to like the difference between men and women. Men are more logical, right? More solution based. Okay, like how can I fix this problem? Right? Either they fix it or they avoid it.
Yeah.
And then for women are more community creatures. Like how can I talk about it? How can I get it out? Hence a woman will tell you like 5 different stories into one.
It's more right-sided activity. Yeah.
So here's like, I read this article. I was reading Apple News, and this article came up that I found quite interesting. And it was it's a little bit with regards to like male and female differences. And it was actually a woman who had become transgender, like a transgender man. And she did all the surgery. She did top surgery. She took out like female organs and all that stuff. And the interesting thing, she said that when she did the top surgery, that she felt like a guy. She finally felt seen like a man, right? Okay. But then when she removed her like reproductive system and actually integrated into like more of a male community, she's like, I wanted to be a man only to realize that everything is so different. She talked about support and community. She talked how men do it on their own as opposed to women doing things in community and how difficult and hard that was for her, right? Or for him, I guess, at this point. Anyway, she ended up transitioning back, and it was a journey. It was like this long article about her journey between transitioning into a man and then transitioning back because it wasn't what she thought it would be. But I found it so interesting that she pointed out the difference in how like the community of men are and the community of women are.
Yeah. And I am my father's son, and my dad was always very solution-based living. Like if there's a problem, let's go fix it. Right.
Yeah.
And it was like, to him, it was addictive. It was like, and for me it is too, right? If there's something that needs fixing around the house, the car or whatever, it's like, I got to figure it out. Right.
Listen, it goes to the video that you love and I hate. The
Say it.
nail.
Preach.
Oh my gosh, I hate that video so much. So if you haven't seen this video that this guy loves, it's called It's Not About the Nail.
It's not about the nail.
Oh, I hate that video so much. But I think that's the perfect and like sort of overview of how women and men are. Men are more solution based, right? So if you're solution based, not always you're going to ask for help because you're trying to do it on your own.
Yeah.
As opposed to women, we're more like the feeling and like the story around it. And then there's community and what you need and support and all that stuff, right?
Yeah. And so going back to this, the humbleness, right, is for a man who is very left-sided thinking, asking for help is just like it's not part of their cards.
But is it that sometimes you don't even realize you need help? Would you say that there are points where you realize you need help, but you still want to do it on your own? Or is it just a matter that you just always think that you can do it on your own?
That's a good question. Actually, that's an excellent question. So say it again.
So is it that you just, do you at any point say, man, I need help, I need to ask for help, and then just kind of be like, no, I'll just do it on my own? Or is that thought process always, I'm going to do it on my own?
Both. There have been times where it's just like, crap, I need help.
Do you ask for help at that point?
No.
Why?
No.
I'm just interested to like understand why.
Yeah, again, it's the same thing. It's just like, I want to, I guess I love, and I'm wired different. I'm wired differently, right? Like, I mean, Tegan says she doesn't know how I do it sometimes. Like, and it's,
You're right.
oh my
He's
gosh,
right
here we go. Why do I even try? And why even bother with this podcast with you? Honestly, just
why? Like, just tell. Okay, sorry. I'm so sorry, our faithful viewers. Go ahead.
Tegan is very strong, physically, right? And women are very strong.
Oh,
like,
100%.
Laborers.
Listen,
and just what they do.
Period. Your favorite word? Period. Period pains. Hello, every month. Like, those are no joke. And then labor.
Yeah.
I think people would die. I think men would literally die if they experience labor pains.
Listen, if guys were to have babies, the world would have ended a long time ago. We would have had one, if that. But either of these mothers you pop out like 5, 6, 7 kids or whatever. Guys would be like, you did this once, and you're like, that's not happening again.
I think resiliency is different for men and women. We're resilient in different ways.
Right. Exactly. So it's very interesting too, right? Because I think so the women very strong physically. Like it is, I take a look at my girls in my life, including my mom and everybody, and anyways, physically on their feet, 24/7, everything that she does and whatever. With me, my strength is more mental. Like it's more like, and she says it. She goes, I don't know how you take on so much that causes so much stress.
Yeah.
Right. And then she goes, I would have been done a long time ago. Right. Yeah. And then so again, and not to say that a girl can't be mentally strong or a guy can't be physically strong. Again, it all depends, whatever. But for me, I can take more mental stress.
Maybe it's the endurance.
Endurance?
Yeah, that might be like, it's the physical endurance, because a man can be strong in the sense where like what you lift and the things you move and all that stuff. So we're not talking about that, right? Yeah. But it's rather the endurance.
Yeah. Yeah, and so 100%, she has more endurance than me. 100%. Like she's go.
Yeah, I've seen. Honestly, I don't know how Tegan does it. Tegan is a saint. Like
neither do I.
Tegan,
right?
The amount of things that she does.
Yeah. And then, but again, and reverse those roles, she doesn't know how I do it sometimes. Because with the bishops and she. Like the families that I'm trying to help and the business that I'm trying to do and the conferences that are just coming in left, right, and center, all the travel.
You're busy.
I am extremely busy. And she's like, I have no idea how you do it.
It's just both of you have strengths in different areas,
100%.
but you complement each other. Hence I think that's why we're in pairs, right?
Yeah.
Like we just complement each other so well.
Yeah. So going back to your question, why don't I ask for help? Is because and this is me, and I'm not recommending this for anybody else, but I love the finished product.
But what if the finished product included the support from others?
That would be amazing. I just haven't explored that avenue yet. I have not explored that. And Linda King, she hounds me all the time because she knows how busy I am. She goes, Bishop, Miguel, you got to ask for help.
Yeah, you do.
And I'm like,
you can accomplish. What was that? Shoot, there's
by yourself you can go fast, but if with a team you can go further. Yeah.
That nonsense.
Yeah, it's
Whatever.
Stop quoting things to me.
It's better said than you've quoted it so many times. It's part of your workshop in different ways.
It is, and I agree with it, and I encourage everybody to look for a team. And that's this is one of those podcasts. Do what I say. Don't do what I do. Yeah,
absolutely. So going back to a few weeks ago when you were going through a lot, there was a lot that was piled on you. So when we were talking,
the first time I felt like really, really heavy. Yeah. First time.
So when you shared it, right, and I was talking to you, and at that point I was like, "Okay, let's do this. I'll do this. I'll do this." And you were no. Any way that I wanted to support and help, no. I'm like, seriously, man.
But I'm gonna tell you something that you may not have heard it. I don't know if you said it before the show or you said it during the show or after the show. But you're like, Miguel, you're gonna come over and we're gonna give you a blessing. I started tearing up.
Why?
Because
somebody cares enough to like be like, hey.
I was not expecting that. Like the help that you were offering this whole time was like, money and physical and do this and I'll do that and then whatever. And I'm like, nah. I'm like, ching, 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 ching. I was Xena, queen of the jungle, right? Just blocking everything, right?
He blocked everything.
But the one that got through was the one where you're like, let's we're going to our house and Mike's giving you a blessing. I was just, and I took everything inside of me to not just full out like because I was starting to feel, and I was like, nope, not today. Go back inside.
It's like suck it back in.
Just suck it back in, right? And but that one got through, and I was like, oh crap. And then I was just so busy. I had to go to an appointment. I was like, I don't have time for a blessing. So just like
again, do not do as I don't have time for the Lord to strengthen me.
It was no.
That's literally what you just said.
It wasn't.
Literally.
I had an appointment. I couldn't just call the client and be like, I can't come to your school where 400 kids are waiting for me.
I get it. But you know what?
If it wasn't for that, I would have gone to Mike's.
It's important to make time for that.
Mike, if you're watching, I would have gone to your house.
Yeah. Because I'm like, so you and I have had this conversation. Sometimes you act like you're a team of one. You're not. You like...
What? We're talking about being humble here. When does this turn into me?
Well, because it comes from humility, the very characteristic that you're so good at, right?
Stop touching my screen.
And?
Don't touch me. So gross. Cooties.
Oh my gosh. But anyway, I'm like, you're not. And I think it takes a minute for you to realize that you're not an island of one. And we've had conversations like this before. Like, you have gone through stuff that I'm like, I'm grateful that you do share them with me, though, because I feel like even that is potentially a big step for you. I don't know if you've done that before, or I don't know who you do that with, but I'm like...
I have a pretty big bowl, dude. I can take on a lot.
So he says.
So I am.
Well, if you ever see him having a nervous breakdown, you will know why. Just go back to our podcast.
I will tell you, I don't know, and here's the thing that I am starting to get worried. I don't know what long-lasting implications my behavior is gonna be.
Yeah, because you're putting additional stress in your body, right?
Yeah. Okay, let's go.
Yeah. Okay.
Whatever.
See, that's how I know I lost him.
I
know the signs are there, people. The signs are there.
Yeah, who cares? Do what I say, people. Ready? Here we go. Number 7, they treat everyone with respect. Mm-hmm. You do that as well. Number 8, they don't feel the need to be right all the time. Mm-hmm. You have a hard time with that one. And then they practice gratitude.
Ooh, yes, gratitude.
So that's if you're around someone and they show any of these. No, it's not like they have to have 3, 4, and 5, or they have to have 1 or whatever. These are some of the signs. And again, there's an assessment here that where you can know where you stand. If you're answering no, you got pride that's ruling your heart.
Mm-hmm. It's keeping you stuck.
Yeah.
Really, right? It's keeping you from the relationships you want to have. It's keeping you from the life you want to have, right?
Yeah.
The impact you may want to have. And impact sometimes we think as this like outside thing, but think about those that are closest to you. Your family, your partner, people that you interact with.
Yeah. And then last, I know we're running out of time, but I do want to, there are 7 things that you can do, and these are study-based, that you can, if you want to be more humble, you can practice, and we're just gonna go through them really quickly. If there's one that stands out, let me know.
Okay.
Practice self-reflection daily.
That's a good one.
Right?
I don't do that daily, but I'm like, that's a really good one.
I think you do.
I-
You self-reflect every morning, especially with your journal writing.
But I'm not consistent. Like, I do write in my journal, but I'm not consistent. This is something I've thought about that I'm like, I actually want to do it daily. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. Embrace the power of I don't know.
I'm good at that. I feel like I'm really good at that.
Serve others quietly.
I do that. There's times that I'll do things and I don't tell anybody that I do them.
Surround yourself with honest people, which is very interesting.
What am I going to do about you?
I'm an island of one. I'm honest. If I'm honest, I'm surrounded by honest people.
You are an island of one.
I've answered my own question.
I'm just
Right?
kidding.
I'm my own answer. I am my own antidote.
You're humble.
I am
and
very
honest.
I am very honest. And if I'm honest, if I'm kind and caring, I've surrounded myself
with all the versions of you.
all the versions of. It's one powerful island, dude.
You're like, yours truly.
I am the king, and yeah. Anyways, so surround yourself. Celebrate others' wins.
Yes.
Admit mistakes and apologize quickly.
I do. I feel like I do that.
And then this one's you are like hardcore with this one is practice gratitude.
I do like practice gratitude. I feel like I know I've said this before. The more you focus on something, that's what it grows.
Yeah.
But I feel like it took me a minute to get it from my mind to my heart, and I really have felt the shift this past couple of weeks where I've been focusing on things that I love more about myself rather than things that I want to change or improve. And I feel like I got a pep in my step.
Yeah. That's it, dude. That's
it.
the workshop our podcast on being humble. Iski, if you're holding me tightly and snuggling me, just know that
whisper sweet nothings into his ear.
How you doing, buddy? I hope you're doing good.
That's so weird. Oh my gosh.
Iski, I just want to tell you.
That's like,
I appreciate you.
you know those like horrible, well, not horror, I should say, but like back in the day when there was those ads about calling these phone numbers. If you're our age, you know what we're talking about.
If you dial 416 450.
You can get this all the time, I guess. Oh my goodness.
So that is it. Next scene. All right, cool. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for logging on.
Thank you.
And so we can share how
Humble you are.
how much I've blessed your lives.
You're like, you're welcome.
You know I'm joking, right? Like, you know I'm joking. I joke. I'm everybody's punching bag, and I do this to kid. In reality, I'm very...
All right, what was your biggest takeaway this week?
do what I do. I mean, don't do what I do. Do what I say.
I was like, what I do?
Yeah.
That,
I gotta figure out a way to ask for help more. Maybe we can talk about that in the next podcast.
just how to accept help.
Yeah, how to accept help.
You're great at giving help. You're not so good at accepting help.
I'm gonna hate that podcast.
You know what? I should send you this book too.
Next Monday I can't.
Okay, so we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, in 2 weeks.
All right. Bye, people.
Follow, share, subscribe. Love you. Peace.
Bye.
Got a minute, don't know. Got a minute of your time. Got a minute of your.
I show that I live right, and I'm never gonna let you out of my side. I've been knocked out, was a nice try, but I guess I get to keep my head on this time. God of the creation, the relations I've got, the only one that keeps me safe, the only one you should trust. For sure, it ain't right that I have checked the speck of dust from all of its side. Fall down, that from my height, cause I didn't see the plank I have in my eye. When you said